Downsizing is a new science fiction comedy film that is directed by Alexander Payne, and it stars Matt Damon, Kristen Wiig, and Christoph Waltz, I believe, is in this movie too. Also stars somebody named Hong Gong. Wow, how did I not know that I was going to butcher her name? I'm very sorry, but there's an actress in here, I think her name is Hong Kao. So this movie deals with the issue of overpopulation, and it deals with it with a group of scientists figuring out a solution to try to save the human race from overpopulation. That solution involves shrinking human beings down to the size of your pinky. That's right, like 5 centimeters or something like that. It stands to reason that if people are smaller, there'll be more space. It also stands to reason that if people are smaller, there'll be more financial benefit. If you're smaller, things are going to be smaller, which means things are going to cost less, which means your profits and costs are going to go up, which it's a financially beneficial situation for everybody involved. Matt Damon and his wife decide after some financial struggles that they're going to try to go through this process of miniaturizing themselves, or downsizing as they call it in this film. In fact, there is one catch. Once you do it, you can't go back. It's pretty much all or nothing. So he goes through with it, and his wife is a dick, and she decides to back out at the last second. Damon is just stuck in this world by himself, and he has to figure out how to live his life among the trees, so to speak. If you're going to take an interesting concept like this of shrinking human beings down, I mean, we've seen it before, obviously, with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but if you're going to take a concept like this, you need to make it funny. I'm sorry, you're shrinking human beings down. There is just a boatload, a gold mine of comedy that relates to short people in this movie, and it's just that you have to make it funny. There's no other way to do it. Luckily, in this movie, they understood that, and they made the premise of this movie funny, and they made the execution of the concept a comedy. And for the most part, the comedy was the best part about this movie. You know what? I'm always looking out for the little guy, so the rest of this review will be told entirely from the perspective of the short people.
Anyway, like I said, the comedy is the best part of this movie. This movie made me laugh quite a bit. I feel like everybody nailed it from a comedic timing standpoint. The jokes are funny, the dialogue is extremely witty, and all of the characters really do a good job at selling you not only on the situation of being shrunk down to the size of a pinky, but they also do a good job at selling you on the comedy. Matt Damon is his usual everyman self in this movie. He does a really good job. He's not even the best character in the movie, though. The best character in the movie is the supporting actress who, again, I'm gonna mess up her name. It's Hong Gao. She has the funniest moments. Her character also has the best heart. Her character also has the best backstory. There is one part in particular involving her describing all of the different ways that Americans have sex, and it was just, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was dying laughing in the theater. It was that fun. Like I said, this is an interesting premise. This is a fascinating concept, shrinking down to reduce costs and to also increase the chances that we survive and we don't overpopulate the earth. What would you do if there was a little person? Would that little person be able to vote the same as you? Would they be able to have the same privileges as you? I don't know. This movie does kind of hint at questions like that. You've got a talented cast here. You've got great comedy. You've got a great supporting character who's kind of the main character, and everyone does their job, and they execute a really fun premise.
That being said, while the movie is kind of an enjoyable watch, I can't really say it's a good or great movie, because it's not. The pacing of this movie slows to a crawl at a certain point because a lot of the story starts to feel like filler. You're going along with him on his journey, and okay, he's living his new life in this small world, and you feel like nothing is really happening from a story standpoint. You're just kind of waiting for something to happen, and then random stuff happens, and then the plot moves forward at a snail's pace. I'm also usually a fan of Kristen Wiig, but I don't really understand why she was even in this movie. Her character is honestly really pointless. Like, you could have removed Matt Damon's wife in this movie, and the movie would really be no different. There are other characters that pop up in this movie who you understand who they are, and you understand why they're in the movie, but at the same time, you're sitting there wondering, like, why are you in the movie? There is potential in this movie to delve deeper into some of these societal issues. In some ways, it does feel like social commentary and satire on the way we live today, but they don't go deep enough. They don't delve deeper into the issues that this movie teases. While you're enjoying yourself and you're laughing at the funny parts, you can't help but feel like this was potential wasted.
And though Downsizing was a pretty fun time at the movies, and I enjoyed myself watching it. I highly recommend this one, but I will say that if you go and you spend your money on it, you won't walk out disappointed. So I'm gonna shrink Downsizing down to my Man of Steel range.
That's my review for Downsizing. Let me know what you thought about the movie down below. Subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace!